The Raft of the Medusa is a large and dramatic painting based on a true story, and many consider this work by Théodore Géricault to be the best painting from the Romantic art period. It's a scene about the French warship Medusa that got stuck on a sandbank some 30 miles out of the coast of Mauritania. Of the 400 people that were on that ship, 250 could get to safety using the lifeboats, and 150 people had to climb on this improvised raft. And these are the people who remain from that group of 150. The painting shows a moment about 2 hours before the survivors of the shipwreck are rescued. After spending 13 days on a raft on the open sea, surrounded by big waves, the surviving members of the Medusa notice a ship on the horizon. You can see the tiny ship on the horizon above the man on the right with a red garment around his upper legs. Some of the survivors frantically try to get the attention of the ship. However, they are unsuccessful at first, and only 2 hours later the ship locates the raft and the survivors are rescued. The improvised raft carries 20 people. It seems that there are 4 or 5 dead bodies, mostly in the foreground. The survivor that reaches highest is an African man. Géricault gave this man a very prominent place as a political statement against slavery. The man stands with his right leg on a barrel of wine, which is the only liquid they had to drink on the raft. In the left foreground, a father with a red cloth holds the dead body of his son in front of him. So let's look at the true story that inspired this painting. And while I tell you that, I will show some of the numerous studies that Géricault made for this painting. In 1816, the Medusa left from Rochefort, France, in the direction of Senegal, where the British would hand over the port of St. Louis to the French. There were some 400 passengers on board, and due to navigational mistakes, the ship did not arrive in Senegal but ran aground in shallow water around 50 kilometers from the coast of Mauritania. The ship was damaged and the passengers needed to be evacuated. The majority of passengers used the available lifeboats to get to the African coast, but there were not enough lifeboats to carry everybody. About 150 people got on an improvised raft of 20 by 7 meters, that is 66 by 23 feet. You can see here a drawing of the raft based on the observations of one of the survivors. There was very little food on the raft, it was half underwater and could not be steered. So these people were lost at sea. Many of them died because of a lack of food, fights, suicide or cannibalism. When the raft was discovered by a rescue ship 13 days later, only 15 people were alive, of which 5 died within days after the rescue. 2 survivors wrote a book about their experiences, and the full text of that book is available for free. I will put a link to that book in the description box below this video. Within 2 months of the rescue, the first accounts of the brutal journey of the Raft of the Medusa appeared in French newspapers. These stories caused a big scandal in France, and the government tried to cover it up unsuccessfully. Géricault got inspired by these stories and wanted to start a painting about it. His painting would be a controversial one, and Géricault was aware of that. The painting was a political statement against the government, who had failed in appointing a proper captain to the Medusa and tried to cover up their mistakes in handling the aftermath. And Géricault did his homework before painting this. He spoke to 2 survivors to get an even better idea of what they experienced. He picked a specific moment from their survival story as a subject for this large painting. He also tracked down the carpenter that helped to build the raft from the wooden deck of the Medusa and asked him to create a smaller scale replica in his studio. Géricault used a canvas of 24 by 16 feet, about 7 by 5 meters, making the figures in this painting larger than life size. He knew that he would not sell this painting, as it was far too big for a private home, and the government would not buy it either. The painting got accepted for the 1819 Paris Salon and immediately went viral, becoming the talk of the town. As expected, he did not sell it, but he earned some money when the painting toured various exhibitions in Europe where the painting was received positively. Well, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you want to know more about the story, just a reminder that in the description box below this video there is a link to the book written about this adventure by two of the survivors on the raft. The book is in the public domain, which means it's available for free. Finally, if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when new art videos are released. Thanks for watching.